TikTok, every 13-year-old girl's addiction and every Reddit warlord's worst nightmare. Anyway, I was bored the other day and scrolled through TikTok when I came across some people advertising their Minecraft servers. So this gave me the idea of going to different TikTok Minecraft servers and going to review them. I just have to say, I was pleasantly surprised, and I highly recommend you check out a couple of the servers I'll be talking about. But anyways, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and let's get into this. So the first server I visited was an avatar server. It was called TerracraftGG. I'll be putting the URL up top. So when you first load into the server, you get the option to pick between the different avatar elements. You get fire, water, earth, rock or something. I don't remember, but you get to pick your different abilities, which determine which type of superpowers you get, basically. It could be really fun to get into, especially if you haven't seen the Avatar show. At first, though, it's kind of confusing, considering you have to bind each specific power to a different item in your hotbar. So in my case, you have to bind fire punch to slot 1, fire throw to slot 2 or whatever. And considering I have the common sense of a sloth, it was pretty hard to figure out how to do that, and no one in chat was really helping me. It took me 15 minutes to figure out how to actually bind the superpowers. Once you get the superpowers, it's actually pretty fun. I chose fire abilities, and I was able to throw fire and shit. I was able to throw up fire walls. I was able to light up the ground around me. I was lighting skeletons on fire, so that was pretty cool. Yikes! Okay, I did something wrong. And surprisingly, with all these abilities, the lag wasn't too horrible. And considering I play on a Mac, it really wasn't that bad. It may look bad on recording, but when I was playing it, it wasn't too horrible. So if you're playing on a Mac, you're good. Walking around and stuff, I decided to challenge someone to a duel. I typed in chat, and the chat kind of just ignored me, though. So the fan base, they're really into their avatar, I guess, and they don't waste time. They're not going to waste time on a new person challenging anyone to a duel. They're only looking for high-skill avatar duelists, I guess. So, I want to let this whole. But anyways, other than the fact it was a little confusing at first learning how to bind each superpower to a hotbar slot, it was pretty fun if you're looking for an SMP experience with a fun little twist to it. It's a really solid server, especially if you're a fan of Avatar, then you'll fucking love it. 8 out of 10. I give this an 8 out of 10. It was a pretty fun server, I think. The next server I went on was a 1-to-1000 replica Minecraft Earth server. I'll again put the server URL up at the top there. It's a replica world model based on Earth. You could choose where you spawn, so obviously I chose North America. I'm an American. And you spawn in a random part of wherever you chose. So in my case, I spawned in the Midwest. But you could spawn anywhere in North America. And there were actually a lot of people active on this server. I was pleasantly surprised by that. There was 70 members or something like that. And people were pretty helpful. When I didn't know how to check the map, they told me you just do /map, which I probably should have just tried before asking. But anyways, when I went onto the map, it takes you to a different website on Safari or whatever search engine you're using. And this is my only real complaint. The map is huge. The sheer size is amazing. But the map is really laggy. And I do understand this because, of the size. But the map is really laggy, though. But it's the map is really cool. It tells you where everyone's at in the world. So in my case, that's how I figured out I was in the Midwest. But you could see people all over the world. You saw people in South America, Asia, Europe, wherever. So I got out of the map, and it was pretty fun trying to navigate the world and discovering new places. I was in the middle of some battlefield or something. It was pretty cool just trying to navigate my way through that. I came across a random nether portal, and I went through it, traveled through the nether, and ended up in Canada. I thought that was pretty insane. Again, people are pretty nice. When I reached Canada, I found a town, and the person was actually really nice and gave me diamond armor and stuff. They set me up, and I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, and the other really cool thing on this server is there's vehicles. There are cars on this server. You can drive around, and who knows what other vehicles you can have. I didn't realize you could do that in Minecraft. You could code in cars and stuff like that. I thought that was a cool little detail that you can do. So then after getting gear, I left the town that I was in into the Canadian forest and built myself a little hut. It was a really fun server, and I might legitimately play on it some more. But yeah, it was really fun. I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason it wasn't a 10 out of 10 is because going back to the map and having to go back and forth to my search engine to reference it, which isn't that bad, but it's just more of an inconvenience having to constantly check where you are, and especially if the map's really laggy, then it kind of sucks. Other than that, this server is really fun, and I recommend you guys go trying out this one. The final TikTok server I was able to find was a Disneyland recreation server. So initially going into this, I didn't think it was going to be anything too grand. I thought they were just going to have mine carts or some bull crap roller coaster just going through. in some like small scale Disneyland like server. But my God, I was blown away. This server has an insane amount of detail. They've made their own custom resource pack, which adds a whole new dynamic to playing. It was legitimately Disneyland. You feel like you're legitimately there. Obviously, you're in Minecraft and you can't physically experience you're in Disneyland, but it was really cool to see. It was really cool to walk around like Disneyland. I just thought it was a neat experience. The only thing was the lag was pretty horrible. I have a Mac, and with the insane amount of detail, I was probably running about 30 frames at the most. And just walking around, it was cool, but the lag was really bad. It's a really cool experience, I think, if you're a big Disney fan, and you would feel right at home with it. For those like me who haven't sold their whole soul to that goddamn mouse, it's a really cool experience seeing all these little details and going on the rides. However, because it's Minecraft and you're not physically actually on the ride, it loses that element there. It's still really cool, though, just to see the park and going on a couple rides. I went on Big Thunder Mountain, which I couldn't figure out the line. I looped back and forth through it anyway. But they have the train. They actually detailed in the train all the little like details on the ride itself are there. I also went on Splash Mountain, and they have all the drops. As you can see, I tried to get the perfect camera. You always see those Splash Mountain like splash cams or whatever. I tried to get that, but I don't know. Let me know how I did in the comments down below. But I was really impressed with the detail that went into each individual ride. I was really blown away by that. However, after the initial wow factor, it kind of gets boring. I still rate the amount of detail, though. My only real complaints are the lag, and it isn't that fun after getting that initial wow factor. So I'll give this a 7 out of 10. So yeah, I guess TikTok Minecraft servers aren't that horrible. I recommend you go check out some of those if you want to. I definitely think they're really cool to see, especially if you're bored in Minecraft, there's something new to do. But anyways, remember to like, subscribe, and if you want a part 2, I'll do part 2.